Title: While painting the nursery for our first baby, I overheard my wife say to her best friend, "He'll never know. The baby's not even his." She laughed. I just needed someone responsible to sign the birth certificate. Start. I kept painting. Calm. Quiet. That was a Tuesday. The nursery smelled of fresh paint and baby powder. My hands moved with precision, smoothing brush strokes across pale blue walls. Behind me, laughter, light, intimate, too intimate, spilled from the adjoining room. I froze mid-stroke. "He'll never know. The baby's not even his," she said. I didn't turn around. Her words floated in the air like poison. "I just needed someone responsible to sign the birth certificate," she laughed. I wiped my brush on the tray, steady, calm, quiet. I didn't shout. I didn't run. I didn't break. By Friday, she was screaming in front of the courthouse, "You can't do this to me." I smiled. Already did. We had been married 5 years. I remembered the way she used to rest her head on my chest, tracing idle patterns on my arm, whispering about a future full of children and laughter. She called me her anchor, and I believed it. I was her anchor. I paid attention. I loved consciously, intensely, without hesitation. Every Sunday breakfast, every late-night talk, every shared secret, it all built a fortress of trust. I thought I knew her. Trust, it turns out, is a fragile thing. I noticed it first in small ways: phone calls that ended when I entered the room, texts deleted before I could see them, a sudden, fleeting discomfort in her eyes when I mentioned a future I'd already painted in my mind. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Not until I was ready. The nursery confession hit differently. That laugh, that nonchalant cruelty. I could hear it still, echoing as I finished the last stroke on the crib. My chest didn't pound, my hands didn't shake. I simply planned. By Wednesday, I had begun. My preparations were quiet, meticulous, invisible. I dug into her patterns, her friends, her appointments, every bank account she had. I set up accounts of my own in her name, tracing financial breadcrumbs like a shadow. I collected evidence, receipts, phone records, photos. Every lie she told was cataloged, time-stamped, undeniable. I hired a discreet investigator. The woman she trusted most, she lied to her. I let it happen. I observed her crumble under the weight of her own deceptions while I assembled the puzzle of her betrayal. Friday morning, I walked into the courthouse with a folder thick with evidence. Calm, quiet. I didn't rush. I didn't glance at her until the moment was mine. She didn't notice me at first, too busy rehearsing her outrage for the unsuspecting judge. "Your Honor," she said, voice trembling, He can't do this to me. I placed the folder on the bench. My smile was slight, almost serene. Already did. The judge opened it, and every lie she ever told spilled out like blood on marble. Emails, texts, falsified statements, evidence of financial deception, misrepresentation of paternity, the entire chain of her betrayal laid bare in the sterile, unforgiving light of the courtroom. She faltered. Her knees buckled. She grasped at the edge of the table like it could hold her upright. You can't. You already know," I said, soft. Just soft enough to cut deeper than a scream. The courtroom murmured. I didn't care. The power had shifted. The final act wasn't dramatic, not with shouting or violence. It was in the silence, as she realized she had no foothold, no argument that could survive the weight of truth. The judge looked at her with professional disapproval. I had anticipated every possible counter, every gasp, every attempt at manipulation. I had predicted. I had orchestrated this symphony of consequences with the precision of a maestro. She was finished. Outside, the autumn wind bit at my coat, sharp and cleansing. I watched her walk away, defeated and hollow, flanked by her attorney, who murmured apologies she no longer deserved. Her laughter, once casual and cruel, now came out in fragments, broken and jagged. I had felt betrayal as a dagger, twisting and cold. I had felt love transform into a calculated instrument. I had walked the line between rage and composure, and now, finally, I stood unbroken. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt complete. That night, I returned to the nursery. The pale blue walls were dry, the crib assembled, the mobile hanging. I ran my hand along the smooth wood, imagining the life that would be mine, built honestly, without manipulation or deceit. I could hear the echo of her laughter in my memory, and I let it fade into silence. I hadn't screamed, I hadn't cried, I had simply acted. Calm, quiet, efficient, ruthless when necessary. Betrayal had tried to define me. Instead, it revealed me. I poured a glass of whiskey, sat in the corner of the room, and let the silence speak. I was not cruel, I was precise. I was justice wrapped in quiet patience. And the best part? She knew it. She had tried to hide the truth, thinking it could escape me. But I was always listening, always watching, always planning. And by Friday, it had been done. Already did.